Hi, I'm Dwayne Brown. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, Election Day just over 3 weeks away, and the race for San Diego mayor is getting tighter. We'll have the latest poll results.
I'm Peggy Pico. The U.S. congressional seat for the 52nd District is a critical race that could tip the scales between House Democrats and Republicans. Coming up, my in-depth interviews with candidates Brian Bilbray and Scott Peters.
And we'll show you the man who fell to earth in a record-setting skydive. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. The latest poll in the San Diego mayor's race shows the gap is narrowing between the two candidates. KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr has the story.
The latest Survey USA poll out from 10 News shows Democratic Congressman Bob Filner leading Republican City Councilman Carl DeMaio in the race for San Diego mayor. Filner has a 47 to 40% lead among likely voters. 13% remain undecided. The gap between the two candidates has narrowed since the last poll 3 weeks ago. Filner lost 3 points, while DeMaio gained 2. Election Day is 3 weeks from tomorrow.
KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr. Some recent Filner ads have questioned developer Doug Manchester's support for DeMaio. Manchester is owner of UT San Diego, and the paper gave DeMaio a front-page endorsement. Filner's ads claim Manchester wants DeMaio's support for future projects. Today, Manchester responded to the claim.
I'm supporting Carl DeMaio because he stands for fiscal responsibility, and he has not been bought and paid for by the unions like Bob Filner has. Carl is a very independent person. He thinks for himself. He certainly is, in fact, proven that time and time again. He's never wavered on anything.
In today's UT, Manchester says Filner is attacking the paper to distract voters. Whoever is elected mayor will have some new guidelines for working with City Council today. Council approved a 10-point cooperation plan, including monthly reports from the mayor and working together with Council on projects and planning. Both Filner and DeMaio have pledged to follow the principles. DeMaio says the plan formalizes what the Council and Mayor Jerry Sanders have been doing for the past few years. A wrongful death claim has been filed in the case of a woman shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent in Chula Vista. It was filed by the family of the dead woman, Monique Tachakin. The Border Patrol says she was shot after ramming the agent with her car. The suit identifies the agent as 34-year-old Justin Tackett. It claims he had a record of misconduct in his previous job as an Imperial County Sheriff's deputy. The case is being investigated by Chula Vista Police and the FBI. Hurricane Paul is a major storm picking up steam in the Pacific off Mexico tonight. It's prompting a hurricane warning for a swath of Baja California's western coast. That could mean hot weather and a return to sticky, humid conditions for San Diego. Meteorologist Miguel Miller joins us by phone from the National Weather Service. So, Miguel, where is Paul headed now?
Well, Paul is headed straight for the southwest coast of Baja California right now.
And how soon could it possibly affect the Baja Peninsula and San Diego?
That would be probably around Tuesday afternoon, hitting the southern southwest coast of Baja, Mexico. We don't see much impact weather-wise from Paul. In San Diego, we'll probably see some high clouds on Thursday and Friday from Paul.
Now, this storm comes as another high-pressure system moves into Southern California this week with warmer weather. Are we talking about another possible heat wave?
It'll be getting pretty hot. It'll be, I guess you could call it a heat wave. We'll have some temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday. Those would look to be the hottest days. They'll be getting up to near record levels for some of our stations.
Now, are we talking inland records or along the coast?
Well, if things go just right, some records pretty near the coast could fall, but mostly in some of the valleys.
And we remember the devastating 2007 wildfires happened in late October. This is also the time of year when those strong Santa Ana winds pick up, right?
That's right, yeah. They can start in September and continue all the way through the winter, really.
Do you have any plans to issue any warnings in regards to these changing conditions?
Well, as far as the fire weather concern, if conditions continue to get drier and windier, we would be issuing something. Right now, though, it looks like we might escape some of the strongest widespread winds, and it wouldn't be a true Santa Ana event this Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah. So what does your forecast, your long-range forecast, say about a possible cooling trend or more fall-like weather?
Well, we'll have some hot and fairly dry weather through Thursday, and then the high pressure that's giving us the hot weather is going to weaken a little bit. Starting Friday, we'll probably see more clouds at the coast, and it'll start a pretty decent cooling trend through the weekend.
Thank you, sir. Miguel Miller with the National Weather Service here in San Diego. Little relief tonight. Gas prices are continuing to drop, but nowhere near as fast as they rose at the start of this month. The average for a gallon of regular is now $4.64 in San Diego County. It's dropped 8.5 cents over the past week after soaring nearly 55 cents the week before. Now, that price increase is one of the reasons a consumer group is asking California's Attorney General to block a multi-billion-dollar deal between two major oil companies. Texas-based Tesoro is trying to buy BP's refinery in Carson. Along with BP's Arco gas stations, Tesoro already owns a refinery in Northern California, and it operates Shell gas stations. Consumer Watchdog says the BP deal would hurt consumers by reducing competition in the marketplace. Amtrak says fewer people are riding the rails on its Pacific Surfliner. The Surfliner runs from San Diego to Santa Barbara. Its passenger count is second only to Amtrak's Northeast Corridor, but last year, ridership on the Surfliner was down about 5%, partly because of higher ticket prices. Nationally, Amtrak set a new passenger record in the last fiscal year. Have you ever wondered what's happening when a fire truck zooms by with lights flashing and sirens blaring? Well, the city of San Diego has set up a new website to tell you. sdfiredispatch.org is updated every 5 minutes with current emergency calls. It gives information like when the call came in, where it is, and what kind of call, but no names or specific medical information. San Diego Fire Rescue Foundation raised the money for it. Fire department hopes people will use the website instead of calling 911 just to find out what all the sirens are about. A San Diego school has been named a National Blue Ribbon winner by Education Secretary Arne Duncan. San Diego International Studies School is one of 23 picked in the whole state this year and the only one getting the honor in San Diego County. The National Blue Ribbon program honors schools performing at a high level or showing great improvement. The super spending campaign committees, or SuperPACs, promised to spend big bucks in the race for San Diego's 52nd congressional seat. With less than a month until the election, the prediction has proven true. But the pattern of spending might surprise you. Ryan Grohowski from our investigations desk is following the money and joins us with some details. So, Ryan, why is this race attracting so much attention?
Well, Democrats are hoping to gain seats in Congress, and the 52nd district used to be a dominant Republican district. Now that it's been redrawn, Republicans have lost that advantage. Republican Brian Bilbray has the seat now, and he's facing a tough battle with Democrat Scott Peters.
So how much have super PACs spent in this race?
More than $4 million. And you should keep in mind that super PACs can raise and spend virtually as much as they want to, either to support or defeat candidates of their choosing. So of that $4 million, more than 90% of it has been spent on negative ads.
And that's the stuff in the red. So why negative ads?
Super PACs aren't controlled by a candidate. They're independent and they can't coordinate with candidates. So often the negative ads you'll see on TV or in your mailbox are coming from super PACs. That way the candidate doesn't have to take responsibility for any of the negativity.
So how are super PACs affecting elections elsewhere?
The pattern of negative spending can be seen nationwide. All told, super PACs have spent $500 million to oppose candidates, and that's about 5 times more than what's been spent to support them.
Ryan Grohowski from our investigations desk. To see more on SuperPAC spending this election, go to kpbs.org. Follow the money. You've heard about the spending in the 52nd District race. Now we hear from the candidates. Peggy Pico talks with each of them one-on-one.
Because our congressional districts have new boundaries this year, the 52nd District is now more evenly divided between Democrat, Republican, and independent voters, making the outcome of this year's election unpredictable. Joining me to talk about his campaign is Republican candidate Congressman Brian Bilbray, who currently represents the 50th District. Congressman Bilbray, welcome.
Great to be with you, Peggy.
A good portion of San Diego voters are military, and there's been some criticism in articles about your voting record when it comes to veteran benefits, that you voted for limiting veteran benefits or reducing them.
Peggy, I come from a military family. I was born and raised, on a military, in a military hospital. My father died at Balboa. I was the member who, with Bob Filner, got a 2-year budget cycle for the veterans. And, you know, these kind of attacks are what happens come election time. I mean, I actually, with Bob, had the largest increase of benefits, funding for the Veterans Department while I was on that committee.
Were those votes then something else?
Those votes are the political action of saying, let's take the president's budget and let's add massive tax increases and double spending on something that the administration, that President Obama's people said that we couldn't even, we've got our budget, we've got plenty of money, and this is a political tactic. This is why people are so cynical about what goes on in Washington, and that's why they believe so little of these things when they come out like this.
Let's bring it back to San Diego.
Let me say one thing. Before we talk about veterans, I'm proud that I carry in my back pocket a lifetime honorary membership to the Fleet Reserve Association, a naval veterans organization. Not too many members of Congress can say that, so I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Let's bring it back to San Diego. I was just saying, many of your television ads talk about the economy and jobs in San Diego. Let's take a look at one of those ads and what you're explaining there.
Our first priority should be making sure that every San Diegan seeking employment can find a job. How? Well, we can start by getting rid of unfair regulations that make it not only hard, but practically impossible to start a business or hire employees.
What unfair regulations are you specifically talking about in San Diego?
Well, let me tell you, as a former environmental regulator in one form or the other, I can tell you one would be the restrictions on construction of the Jonas Salk School. Been held up for a year by federal regulators. It's a graded pad. It should have been able to go through. We have scientists working on green fuel technology that have state and federal programs blocking them from moving forward with a lot of production. Those are the kind of things that I think the American people, and San Diegans especially who want jobs, want us to change the regulations so it's legal for these small businesses doing great things to actually hire more people.
You have worked a lot in this campaign to show voters that you are a moderate candidate, but according to Washington Post voting tracker, you voted with the Republican majority 90% of the time. Are there any issues that you wouldn't vote along party lines with? Oh,
well, I think you just saw that I voted against their bill on coal. I think that the concept of trying to subsidize what's called clean coal is logical as safe cigarettes. But no, my voting record has been rated from 1 to 100 as being liberal to conservative. I sit at 54. Bob Filner sits down very liberal. People like Darrell Issa ends up at about a 74. But those are votes without procedural stuff. It's much like that vote that you were talking about where they said, oh, you voted against veterans. Those are political votes that are purposely set out there. It's the kind of waste of time that we need to get away from in Washington. But if you see the journals and the way they've rated, I didn't decide to vote that way, but over my time in Congress, I've had a 54, not too much more moderate than right at that close to 50, which is the most moderate you can be.
All right. Very quickly, we have less than a minute. You signed the Norquist Pledge to never raise taxes while you're in Congress. How are you going to be able to keep that promise?
Well, easy, because we have $4 trillion worth of taxes coming down the road now. We've just had a major tax increase done a few years ago on middle-class people. And the fact is, this is one place where not even the president is talking about adding any more taxes on. We're talking just basically about who is going to get hit with the taxes that are on there and who are we going to keep off of it. And so the real issue here is not about talking about raising taxes. It's about how do we reduce the increase, massive increase. The largest increase that we have seen in this century will kick in the next few months if we don't get together and work this out. And that's why it means somebody like myself that's worked with Democrats and Republicans, found a common ground to work it out. We need to work together, and that's the key in the next few years.
All right, we are out of time. Congressman Brian Bilbray, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you very much. Honor, Peggy.
In just a moment, Peggy will talk with Bilbray's opponent, Democrat Scott Peters. A reminder from the Registrar of Voters, you have one more week to get registered for the November 6th election. You can do it online at sdvote.com or get a paper form and send it in. You can find the forms at the DMV, library, and post office. The registration deadline is midnight, October 22nd.
I'm Ray Suarez. On the next news hour, voters get to ask the questions at the second presidential debate. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
In part two of tonight's focus on the candidates for the newly redrawn 52nd Congressional District in San Diego, Peggy Pico speaks with Democratic candidate Scott Peters.
Joining me to talk about his campaign for the 52nd congressional seat is former San Diego City Council President and current Port Commissioner, Democrat Scott Peters. Welcome to Evening Edition.
Thanks, Peggy.
Your opponent talks about in his ads your vote to underfund the city's pension plan while you were on the city council. He calls it fiscally irresponsible and says the same of you. How do you respond to those criticisms?
Well, you have to look at the whole record. The city of San Diego had 3 decades of bad pension practices, and unfortunately it was a mistake for me to vote early in my career to continue those. But then we realized we had a problem and we did something about it. We hired outside experts to tell us what went wrong and how to fix it. We made pension underfunding illegal. We made our employees pay a larger cost to share their benefits. We held the line on raises. We negotiated a new pension system that would save about $23 million a year. At the end of our long decade, the SEC itself said that San Diego was a model for other cities to follow. And I'd contrast that to Washington, D.C., where Congress has had a number of years of bad habits. We still have more work to do in San Diego, but they haven't even started. And that's the point I make, is we have some lessons to teach Washington about recognizing our problems and getting started on fixing them.
Some lessons you've learned personally?
I think so. Well, I mean, some lessons I've learned is that well, you know, one of the things we did was we established an independent budget analyst position for the city council, so it would have its own financial professional advice. We didn't have that. We only could listen to management. That's all the advice we had. So checks and balances is one way. Don't believe the first thing you hear is the only thing that you can hear, and I think that lesson has served me well in the city.
In one of your TV ads, you talk about balancing the budget the right way. Let's take a look.
Okay.
We need to balance the budget the right way. Protect and strengthen Medicare and Social Security. Seniors have earned it.
Seniors have earned it, Medicare and Social Security. What are some of your specific ideas on how to strengthen and or balance the budget when it comes to Social Security and Medicare?
Well, with respect to Medicare in particular, because there's been a lot of talk about that, I want to cut the costs. My opponent wants to cut the benefit. He's voted for the Ryan budget, which the Wall Street Journal said would end Medicare as we know it. I think we can save it. So specifically, we should begin negotiating down the cost of prescription drugs, which a private health care plan would do, which we don't do. We should be making sure we're getting rid of fraud and overbilling. We should be taking advantage of new technologies like electronic record keeping and wireless medicine to lower the cost. Ultimately, we have to transition our healthcare system from a sick care system, which rewards visits and procedures, to a healthcare system that also rewards prevention. That will really lower the cost of things in the long run.
How would you pay for that?
Well, those are savings. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think that already, you talk to hospitals, they're starting to think about how to redo their health care so that they're serving pools of people, providing better outcomes, and judging themselves more by outcomes than just by the number of procedures and number of visits.
You were part of a KPBS investigative report because of an email correspondence between you and UT San Diego CEO John Lynch. He asked you how you were going to vote on extending the Dole lease on the port. You said you didn't tell him how to vote in your email, but later on it said that you could rescind your vote. You responded back to him. Why did you say that to him, and what does that tell voters?
Well, that's not quite right. The question he raised, he said he wants to build a stadium on the 10th Ave Marine Terminal. He said, is there a way to get out of this lease if we decide that's a way to go? And what I told him was that there was a termination provision in the lease and that I thought the lease was a good idea. Now, I want to the big story here is that you had someone who's either a newspaper person or a real estate developer, and the line is fuzzy, threatening a sitting port commissioner in the context of politics because he said it would be an issue in the campaign. And also said he would disband the port if we voted the wrong way. I did not fold to that pressure. I voted what I thought was the best thing as a trustee for the Tidelands. I think that Dole lease is a good lease for jobs, and we extended it. And I'll stand up for people who work on the waterfront and for our military, which also uses that facility as a strategic port to supply the Middle East.
All right. The boundaries for the 52nd District are nearly evenly split between both parties, and there's a lot of independent voters as well. How would you represent them in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I was the first Democrat to represent my city council district, which was La Jolla, University City, Carmel Valley, and Rancho Penasquitos. Those people are not necessarily, they're not particularly liberal. They're sort of like the district. They're, a third Republican, a third Democrat, a third independent. They want to see things work. And whether it's, fixing up the ballpark district or finishing Highway 56 or cleaning up beaches and bays or expanding the convention center, I bring a record of working across the aisle to get things done. Other people say it, but I've actually done it. And that's why I've gotten support from not just Democrats, but also independents like Nathan Fletcher or Republicans like 4 former Chamber of Commerce chairs and Mr. Malin Burnham, because they want to see things work and they think I'm the better candidate for that.
All right, we are out of time. San Diego Port Commissioner Scott Peters, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, Peggy.
Make sure you check out the KPBS Voter Guide. It breaks down the big races and measures into clear language with links to our stories and candidate bios. You can even take it to the polls on your smartphone. You can find the KPBS Voter Guide on our website at kpbs.org/voterguide. And this Friday on KPBS, we will present a 1-hour Envision special on the upcoming election. My Ballot looks at the races and issues from San Diego mayor to the death penalty to the latest fight over medical marijuana. Join Joanne Farian for My Ballot Friday night at 8. Earlier, we talked with a meteorologist from the National Weather Service about warmer temperatures in store for San Diego this week. Here's a quick look at the forecast. An incredible leap from 24 miles up. The man they call Fearless Felix fell to earth at a rate of nearly 834 miles per hour Sunday. Felix Baumgartner is now the first person to travel faster than the speed of sound without a jet or spacecraft. He spun around a little in free fall before opening his chute at 5,000 feet and landing safely in New Mexico. Baumgartner set his record on the anniversary of another aerospace record. 65 years ago, Chuck Yeager used a jet to break the sound barrier, and yesterday he celebrated by doing it again. The story from Bryant Thomas of the Associated Press.
The first pilot to fly faster than the speed of sound is showing that after 65 years, he is not slowing down. General Chuck Yeager celebrated the anniversary of his historic 1947 flight by breaking the sound barrier again on Sunday.
Cockpits don't change. You just use the controls to make the airplane do what you want it to.
Yeager was in an F-15 Eagle bearing his name and piloted the jet as it took off and landed from Nevada's Nellis Air Force Base.
It just makes me feel good to what Nellis has given me, you know, an F-15.
A younger pilot took over for the high-speed action.
It was the greatest experience of my life so far.
The plane's speed reached Mach 1.4. Yeager says he might do it again. Brian Thomas, The Associated Press.
San Diego Chargers are hosting the Denver Broncos in Monday Night Football right now at Qualcomm. Right now, the score, Chargers 17, Broncos 0 in the second quarter. Recapping tonight's top story, a new poll shows the San Diego mayor's race is getting tighter. Bob Filner still leading Carl DeMaio, 47% to 40%. It's a 3-point drop for Filner since the last poll 3 weeks ago, and a 2-point gain for DeMaio. The poll was done for our media partner, 10 News. Gas prices are continuing to drop, but nowhere near as fast as they rose at the start of this month. The average for a gallon of regular right now, $4.64 in San Diego County. It's dropped 8.5 cents over the past week after soaring nearly 55 cents the week before. And a wrongful death claim has been filed in the case of a woman shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent in Chula Vista. It was filed by the family of the dead woman, Monique Tachikin. The Border Patrol says she was shot after ramming the agent with her car. The suit identifies the agent as 34-year-old Justin Tackett. He claims he had a record of misconduct in his previous job as an Imperial County Sheriff's deputy. Chula Vista Police and FBI are investigating. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night.